Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, October 7th, and we are about to start, maybe, our second day of soybean harvest here on the farm. I say maybe because it is raining. It's about 11 in the morning, a little before, 10:50 something. This would be normally when we would want to start to go out in the field because the morning dew would be off of the plants, and, it'd be a good time to get rolling a little bit here before lunch. Then take a break, and then hit it hard for the rest of the day. But Mother Nature has apparently decided that that's not the way it's going to work today. So there was one single line of rain that came in from the northwest. It didn't actually rain enough here to do any good as far as putting any moisture back in the soil, which, by the way, on the news they said we are over 8 inches behind on our moisture level for the Twin Cities and for Scott County where we're at. So, the rain didn't do us any good. I guess on the plus side, we didn't have to try to run out and cover soybean wagons or anything because it wasn't substantial enough to wet the grain or cause a problem. But it also is going to keep us from getting out in the field. So, I've been greasing in the rain here, getting sprinkled on and dribbled on by, rain cascading off the sheet metal of the combine. But I got all the critical 10-hour Zerks greased, so I'm going to run this thing up into the yard and put fuel in it, and then we're just going to have to hang out for a while. That's west-northwest, and I don't know if the camera can pick that up or not, but there's a little bit of blue sky over there, so it's coming. There, maybe that's a little better. You can see a little patch of blue over the trees. It looks like there's another line of stuff behind this, but the radar doesn't show any rain, so it's going to probably just be some patchy clouds that'll go through. The bad thing about this is it's also like dead calm. Ideally, the sun would come out and the breeze would pick up a little bit, and then we'd be out in the field in no time, but... All right, I've probably overanalyzed that enough. You get the idea. We gotta wait. One final point, as I beat this dead horse severely, is that if we don't get done today, it's not a big deal. Tomorrow is supposed to be a gorgeous day, and I've got 11 acres to go, approximately. So, I figured if we got started in the morning, I'd get through all 11 acres, because I'm a kind of a slow, meticulous combine operator. I don't rush. There's no point in that. So we want to get all the crop in as best we can, not break down with the machines, take our time, do it right. That's my philosophy. So I was looking at being done today if we could start on time. But like I said, it's not a big deal if we have to finish a little bit tomorrow. All right, now we play the waiting game. Well, we had lunch and did a few other chores. We're just waiting around here a little bit. I have a person coming out from the Land Stewardship Project, which that's an organization that Dana and I are members of. The person from LSP is coming out here to take some drone footage, which should be great. I'm looking forward to that. She said I could use the footage and then that may appear in the video, so I think she's actually here. So I guess I'll sign off here for a moment and welcome her to the farm. a good sign, I think. Earlier in the day, I didn't even have dust coming out the back of the combine. See, I've got a little cloud behind me now. Well, folks, things are actually going pretty good here. The sun kind of came out, breeze picked up, and it dried things right out. And now we're getting a really nice threshing. So I got into the 2-acre patch here. I finished up that other 6-acre field, 6.5-acre field. So now I'm just filling the hopper. But at the moment, I'm walking. I'm gonna set you up for a better view. Oh, well, folks, when this hopper is empty, that's going to be it for me for today. It's just about supper time. It's getting dark earlier and earlier. I'm going to help Dad out after supper putting the wheel back together on the 686. We need that tractor back in action, and he's done painting that rim. So I'll give him a hand with that before it gets dark. And then we're going to just pick this up again tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. What a glorious morning it is, too. It is Saturday, October something. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the last video and see what it was yesterday. Much better day than yesterday. It was a cold night last night. We got a pretty good frost. So things are still drying out a little bit this morning from that, although it's warming up really quickly. I'm going to take some time this morning and move the goats. I've been putting that off for 3 or 4 days. I've been feeding them hay. They've completely denuded their area that they're in right now, and they need to get to a new spot in the pasture. So given that I only have 9 acres of beans to finish, I'm going to take the time to do that livestock move. And then when that's done, probably have a real quick lunch and then get out in that combine and get going and make the most of what should be some perfect conditions for getting the rest of those soybeans out. Last night after supper, I helped Dad get the wheel back on the 686. That is a big improvement. Woo! Ugh. Woo! Ugh. I think you get the idea. We'll have to do the other side sooner or later. I was going to keep this to just soybean harvest and not film the goat move, but sure is pretty. This is where they're going to go, along this fence line along the west side of our pasture. A buddy and I cleared this of trees and brush a couple of years ago, and then it got neglected and overgrown. So I'm going to create kind of a long, slim corridor here for the goats to hang out in, and they'll be right at home in there. Still plenty of leaves and forbs and things for them to eat. So I'm going to park their trailer right in here. Okay, I got the goats moved, had lunch. It's about 1:30. They're all set up here in their new space along the fence line. And I just, on my way out here, I was heading out to the combine to get started on beans, but I had to bring a sledgehammer out and drive the ground rods in. I had a heck of a time setting this fence up because the ground is hard as concrete. So I had to grab a drill and a long drill bit and drill in a bunch of the holes for the step-in, push-in posts on that mesh net fencing. More fun with drought conditions right there. But I think all this in here, all this brush, they'll take care of a lot of that for me. They'll clean those leaves up and open things up so that I can see where I need to clean things out and cut with the saw yet. And then here it is from the other side. So just wraps around this long piece of fence line here, or former fence line. Used to be our pasture boundary. So it doesn't look like a very big space for them, but actually it's about the same size or a little bigger than the space they were in before I moved them here. You can see from this side a little bit better all the woody, shrubby growth. So they'll have plenty to eat for a while. Hello, ladies. Are you enjoying your new spot? I hope so. All right, folks, right where I left off yesterday. I'm gonna finish up the 2-acre patch here, which is about an acre left, and then get into this bigger field. And the nice thing about this 8-acre field, I've already got the outside round done, so I don't have to get close to the woods or anything. And a lot of this field is long passes, which is efficient. You can just kind of roll and let the combine do its work, and it's not as much turning around. And you know, you keep more time with the thresher going, basically, more time actually threshing beans. So that's the nice thing about a little bit larger field. And I know some of you bigger operators out there are gonna be like, 8 acres is a bigger field. Ha, you know, I feel like our 18-acre field takes me a whole, you know, year to get done practically when I get into that. So it's all relative. Well, what a difference a day makes. We went from having kind of an unacceptable, or I don't know, probably not unacceptable, but I don't like to see a lot of unthreshed pods in the grain. It's just, it makes you feel better when you got nice clean beans, you know, and you're sending a decent product off to the elevator, as we are in this case. But so much drier, more sunny today, everything's threshing really well. You can see we're kicking up a nice little cloud of dust here. And I don't know if you can see that, probably not. The combine is just absolutely sterilizing those beans, so it's doing a great job. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good day. So I'm making my last outside round here, and I'll tell you, well, I just kind of was a little slow on the camera here, but down in the low spots, the beans are really pretty good. But then it's funny, you get over there up to the upper side of the field, and it's really sparse. So I think it just kind of goes to show the difference between good low ground and high clay ground in a drought year. Well, I had another almost hopper full and decided it was a good time to dump. And I really wanted to dump on that big wagon just so that I could have one wagon that would be completely full, make me feel better about things. But this one was closer and I'm in a little bit of a hurry, so I thought, nah, we'll just go here. It doesn't matter. I'm down to one last little run here, right there. That should be one pass. We'll wrap that up. And then I got a kind of a long skinny strip to do up there. And then I should be completely done with beans. Now it's 5:20 right now. I told Dad I would try to be home by supper time, which is at 6 o'clock. I don't think I'm gonna make it, but you never know. That supper bell is a powerful force. I'll tell you, those are some nice beans. That is really threshing well, but I sure wish there were more of them. Can't say that enough. got her done here. So I would say about another 15 minutes here, and we will be putting the cap on soybean harvest for 2022. Well, folks, that's it. That's the last of the beans. I did fill up the big wagon up over yonder, but the last little bit had to go in this wagon. I didn't want to try to stuff it all onto that big wagon and make it really hard to pull around when we had extra room here. So that's that. Well, folks, that's it for the harvesting portion of soybeans this year. Naturally, we still have lots to do. We have to get the combine cleaned up. And then we have cover crops to plant. Obviously, we got open soybean ground here. We can start planting cover crops. But I need to finish building a compost applicator system that will be on our no-till drill that we'll use for the cover crops, so that we'll be putting compost extract down with our winter rye. And then it's on into corn after that, really. So there's lots to think about. And we have to get these beans shipped out. I guess that would be the last thing to do with the soybeans, is see if we can get a truck to come early this coming week here and get those down the road, and then we don't have to think about them anymore. That's kind of the summary, and I think that'll be it for today's video. So for everyone who's still watching, I appreciate you coming along with us for the ride, and we'll be back real soon. So until next time, we'll see you later.